What's up, nerds? I'm the roleplay gamer, and I like to party. Welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Of course, we're here in the Keelback, and I'm running liberation missions, I think maybe that's what you'd call it. Basically, it's a little bit of piracy, but sanctioned piracy, if you will. So, are we a privateer? Something like that. Anyway, I'm using it as an excuse to test out some more fighter gameplay, basically. So we've got two missions here in the same system, exactly the same mission, more or less, just one's more difficult than the other, and they each pay out about 1.5 mil a piece. So I'm very excited to see what we can get away with a very cheap, low-ranked pilot. So let's saunter on in here and see what we got. So we've got two Sidewinders and an Asp, pretty much. And I'll tell you right now, this did not go how I wanted. This was an absolute, complete experiment. I didn't expect my Harmless pilot to be able to take on two expert Sidewinders, along with, I think, a Harmless Asp. And, he couldn't. He does end up blowing up, and I have to hightail it out of this encounter. So at this point, I was starting to think that perhaps it was the Condor, because if you remember from my last video, there should be a card showing up now. If you haven't seen that yet, from my last video, you will have seen that the Imperial Fighter is just a goddamn jackrabbit. In my limited experience with it up to that point, it couldn't be hit by the AI. It just couldn't. So to jump in here and see the Condor get basically steamrolled, I was thinking, hey, is that maybe the fault of the Condor? But, we'll find out later that maybe that's not the case. So I did actually try this encounter a second time, and this time attempting to get involved myself to support my fighter, because, it is being ganged up on by three other ships. So I figure, it's not really fair to expect him to take them all out. So I give it a try, and, spoiler alert, I fail again. So beyond this point, you are going to be hearing my voice as I was recording, not recorded afterwards. So if it sounds a little bit jarring, the tone is different, just be aware that that's the reason for it. Alright, so now just for the sake of, I suppose, completeness and comparison, we're now going to try that mission that we couldn't complete previously with the escort and whatnot. But this time, using an Imperial Fighter, we'll go for the one with the highest DPS, so we're talking fixed pulse and a point defense here. Now, the other stats are unchanged otherwise. Just to show you a comparison here, we're talking max speed is almost identical. We're talking 316 as opposed to 312, and I'm going to try and stop saying we're talking, like I'm some kind of hipster from the 90s. And otherwise, like the boost speed is just the difference of 4. We've actually got better boost with the Imperial Fighter, and what's more incredible is just the pitch. It goes from 53 all the way up to 78. Now, of course, the shield health and the armor health is, I suppose, substantially better on the Condor, but like I said before, what's the point of shields and armor, if you're not getting hit anyway? And that's been my experience with the Imperial Fighters. They just don't get hit. So we're going to go with this one here with a fixed pulse, like I said. We're going to buy that shit. And just as the cherry on top, now I know this isn't like proper, like experimental scientific testing in that I've gone overboard, but I want to show you a complete, like out of left field comparison here. We've gone with Ariana Campos, who is an expert pilot, can't speak today. She's, I've sprung for an expert. We're going to put her in what I am suspecting is perhaps a superior ship in the hands of the AI, and we're going to see if we can, tear those guys a new one. Oh, this is going to be exciting. Alright, you guys ready for this? Are you ready for this? Mother of Christ, let's do this. Let's do this, I'm so excited. Okay, full power to shields. Let's hang back and see what happens. Oh, she's smacking it. Oh, that's right. Spank that ass. Oh, you just spanked that ass, baby. Oh, yes, sir. Let's see if she can be hit. I don't think she can be hit. She's too good. Oh, bro. Oh, one down, one down. One down. Next target, next target. All right, she's starting to be hit now. So it's not impossible, but we're talking. Okay, we'll look back at the video. All right, but this one's a novice, so this one shouldn't be a problem at all. The previous one, I can't remember. I honestly didn't check. But previously, we were looking at least one expert amongst them here. So that's the Asp Explorer is a novice. Okay, so the Sidewinders are experts. So let's deal with that first. And then the Asp Explorer we might actually deal with that one ourselves. What do you say about that? It feels right to me. Lend a helping hand. Oh, baby. Just don't hit me. Don't do it. Our shields are holding. Here we go. And we're good to go. Okay. So what's the moral of this story? Firstly, this is not a very good educational video because clearly my testing methods are flawed. I'm aware of this, don't worry. But I think one thing can be inferred above all else. Ariana Campos is a goddamn badass, and a high-ranked crew member basically cures all. Now, I'm not going to suggest that the Imperial Fighter is objectively better than the Condor in the hands of the AI, because we did see the Imperial Fighter taking some hits. But it didn't blow up like the Condor did. And I think, you know, of course, more testing needs to be done, but I think it's fairly safe to say that that's down to the skill of the pilot. So, you know, they're not that expensive, and if you're going to be doing stuff like this where you're making, you know, upwards of 1 million credits per mission, I think it's absolutely warranted to spring for a big old fancy pilot like that. It's cool, guys. You know, I'm going to continue playing like this because I love this playstyle. So I'll continue making videos and updating you whenever there is something, you know, of note to share. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to gently caress that like button. It needs love like everything does. Taste the game, be excellent to each other, and I'll see you next time. Roleplay Gamer, out.